Alrighty. A little bit of a different time control. This is 15 minutes plus 0 seconds. So no increment. I was trying to get something with increment, wasn't having any luck. Okay. Not too familiar with this. My first instinct is to play e5. Let's try that. I don't mind swapping queens. Right, so now knight f6, bishop f5, those come to mind. See, knight f6, bishop g5, bishop f5. Might play knight e2 and knight g3. I think I'm okay with that. I think at some point I want to play c6. So let's say bishop g5. Okay, not what I was expecting. So I want either bishop c5 or bishop e4. Can also try to do this, but I think I want to get castled. I don't want to see bishop e5 check. It's also bishop e7 to kind of blunt bishop g5, but that seems a little passive. Bishop c5 I kind of like the best. And bishop c5, bishop g5, bishop f5, knight e2. Maybe bishop b4 is better. Alright. Let's do that instead. Now, do I want to start with bishop f5, so knight g3 I play here? Or do I just get castled? Let's bring the bishop out. Let's get castled. Next I want to play knight d7, knight b6. Bring this back. So now maybe I can chop on c3. Like bishop g5, take c3, bc3, knight d7. Rook e1, knight b6. Okay, I was thinking of taking this anyway. Trying to play a little faster since I don't have increment. Alright, I'm a pawn up for now. Right, so he wants to play c4. Makes sense. Should I play b5? Is that getting too fancy? Kind of like the looks of b5. b5, a4, a6, c4 takes, bishop takes, knight b6. Let's try it. I just don't want him to play c4 so easily. Hold on to this. I think d5 is weak. Maybe I overlooked queen e2. Is that a problem? Queen e2, maybe I just play a6. Then if a4, rook b8, not exactly what I wanted. Okay, queen e2, knight b6. Take here. Take d5. That seems okay to me. Let's play this quickly. I guess he could play a5, but I'm not too scared of that. This I wasn't too scared of either, unless he has a good follow-up. Because again, I get to play knight b6 next. It's always knight c5. I have that in reserve. Bishop a3 is not possible. That's good to note. Like maybe knight c5, there could be a bishop a3 if I move my queen, but for right now I've got that covered. So knight b6, rook d8, these moves seem pretty good to me. So I could take d5 right now. Probably a pretty good pawn to take. Can also start with knight b6, or I could defend my pawn. That might be the greediest move. Rook b8. And then I can't play knight b6. He wants to play rook d1. Okay, let's calculate. Takes. You could take e4. So maybe I should play knight b6. Take here. Knight b takes. Then I'm on c3. I like the looks of that. If I can maintain this e-pawn, I kind of like these pieces kind of canceling each other out. My bishop does a good job blocking off his knight from advancing forward any of these squares this bishop controls. Okay, maybe he wanted c4 to try to take this. If he plays c4, can I start with c6? Queen c5, knight d7. Actually, the queen is running out of squares there. Oh, maybe queen d6. Not quite what I wanted. c4, maybe that's a problem. It's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, he might win back his pawn on e5. Okay. Let's see, queen a5, maybe just bishop d2. Right, so I like my position, but it's maybe not the easiest to make progress in. He's on this. Should I defend it? Not easy to defend. I like to play something like knight f4. Maybe this idea could be tried. Then he has bishop g5. All of a sudden, it's not so easy to play. Okay, let's start with this. I'm trying to discourage him from playing bishop g5. And then I want to play h5, h4. Hard to say if I want to move this rook from f8. There could be some tactics along this diagonal. Okay, now I wanted h5. Let's try that. Maybe I should play like rook d8 so that this knight can jump. Tricky position. I've got this covered sufficiently. I'd like to give this the boot so I don't have to monitor the e-pawn so much. So I'm a little bit happy to see that. Rook d8. So now I have ideas of knight f4, ideas of knight b6. Maybe sometime I can play e3. Queen b6 and e3, that looks interesting. It's also queen b6 and knight g4. And again, e3 is a possibility. Maintain my extra pawn. Okay, he has the bishop pair. But right now I feel like his bishop pair is not so good. This bishop is sort of stuck. So yeah, I guess queen b6 is on my radar. Okay. So can I take here? Take c3, bishop f6, take c4, bishop c4, knight takes. I think I can take c3. What am I missing? Let's try it. I mean, it's a second pawn. It might damage my structure, but I think getting another pawn's worth it. So let's see. Take c3, knight takes c3. Bishop f6, gf6. This is still held, this is still held. My rook is on a good open file there. He can start with this. Then I take c4, bishop c4. Knight takes f6. That's probably an even better version for me, since I didn't have to ruin my pawn structure here with g takes f6. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe he forgot that he can't move his bishop on d2. That was kind of my point of playing queen a5, so I wanted to discourage him from playing bishop g5. So now I think we're in business. Maybe he should keep queens on the board, maybe queen e2. Try to target this. Okay. Yeah, actually maybe that was his best chance. Because I quite like this position now. Right. I think I'd like to take the rooks off. Rook check. Eliminate any counterplay if I'm coming down here. I think that's what I want to do. Also free up this pin here. I think I have very good winning chances, so I'm going to do it. Well, I don't know why he's thinking here. He has to take my rook, whether he likes it or not. There's really nothing else to consider. Oh. He left the game. I see. Yeah. Probably could have resigned, but I don't know, I think I probably would have struggled on a little bit if I was him. What's the eval? I would say -2 or 3. Wow, it's not even that bad. Oh, maybe I have issues with this? Knight g4 hit this, and bishop e1. Yeah, I don't see why it's giving such a low evaluation. I would think this is a better position than just -1. But it goes to show that was a premature resignation. So here's it's about -2. Doesn't like taking off the rooks. I guess I didn't see bishop d2, and I guess this makes the retreat of my knight a bit tricky. If I try to escape out here, well, really that's no escape at all because I can't get out. But also just immediately he's picking up my e5 pawn. Still, I mean, they're pointing out I have moves. Knight g4 does look pretty tempting, and then running the c pawn, so I can play this and c4. Okay, but not as simple as I thought. Yeah, I guess it was too easy to just swap the rooks. Okay, so I'm not too familiar with this opening. Of course it should be correct to take. And e5, it's a move. This is really just what I play on Blitz, but I've never looked up what I'm supposed to do. It likes knight f6 the best. I wonder if it'll transpose or be similar. Wow, queen h5, that's an interesting move. I'll definitely have to look this up. And yeah, I wasn't sure where to put the bishop, c5 or b4. Well, it says -1, it's changing its evaluation, that's strange. Yeah, and it's an extra pawn. Seems a fair evaluation. a3 is probably a mistake, since I was planning to take on c3 anyway. Yeah, and it says now -2, probably because white's pawn structure is really bad, and I'm still up a pawn. Yeah, did it like b5? It does not like b5. Surprised. I was pretty happy with this move, actually. Knight e8 to knight d6 is a good idea. If I can put the knight on d6, then I can play f5. That makes sense. Why is it so pessimistic here? a6, and taking was a mistake. Yeah, I still don't see what's the big difference why inserting this was bad. I just wanted to play knight b6. Let's say I play h5 like in the game. Let's just see this line, for example. Wow. Okay. I guess now he's attacking over here. Yeah, maybe h6 was a possibility instead, but okay, I can see that. Maybe the rook exchange and bringing my queen away from the action at some point. I guess he mistimed it. He should... Maybe I play h6 here instead, but okay. I didn't like this either. Right, because of this c4 move. Yeah, I saw this at the last minute, and queen c5 here. And if knight d7, queen d6. He's on this, he's on that. I can play this. I guess everything's held, but it's looking really flimsy. This queen's very active. Yeah, okay, I can see that. So instead, I should have just taken right away with this knight. And then I thought he would... Yeah, actually, I didn't like that I was giving up my e-pawn in this variation. And wow, c5, so if he takes this... Ah, right, his knight's hanging. Okay. Okay. Right, queen c4, and I'm back in business. And then, yeah, I liked my plan here. Queen a5 followed by h5. And he never really can play bishop g5 because I take this. And then I'm just 2 pawns up here. Okay, well, that's 2 wins in a row, albeit against lower rated players. But still, feels good to bounce back. So, alright, until next time. Thanks.